All right. That can't be what I have currently. I think I'm good. I'm not 100% sure. Please bear with me as I try to bring it up on my phone now. Oh, talk about a rough start. I apologize, guys. Okay. If you guys are with me, please bear with me just a moment. I've got my Crapsy code that I'd like to get in to you guys, and I'm going to put that in the comments here in just a moment. And then we can do this together. All right, so I need to go here. And then, yep, yep. Are live. I think I got it. Okay, I think I got it. Yep. No, that's not right. I'm hoping that I can see here. There we go. That's it. Okay, yes. Haha. All right, cool. I'm in. We look good. Hey, Skill, how are you? Thank you for joining in with me. Let me get this code typed in so you guys all can join me. And then we can get started and have some fun. Let's see, that's P4 F8 X4. Okay, there's the Crapsy code. I just put it in. It's under a different username, so on and so forth. But there's the Crapsy code if you guys would like to jump in and join me. We're going to play Crapless tonight. I'm also putting the ability to do put bets if you guys would like to utilize that and have some fun. So Crapless, we're coming in $1,500. That's what I'm giving you guys as far as like what you can play with on Crapsy. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to keep all of my money updated here, and then I'll compare it to what you guys have when we are all wrapped up. So if you guys want to jump in, the code again is P4F8X4. That's the code if you guys want to jump in. All right, so we're going to start off, and so we're doing the whole Crapless, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently than I normally would on a craps table. So I'm going to go with $100 on the pass line, and then I am going to go with a quarter on the 2, 3, 11, and 12. And I'm going to work it. Why am I going to work it? Because of the simple fact, I don't have to worry about a craps number wiping out my pass line. And if a 7 does come, I win $100 and it just replenishes the 2, 3, 11, and 12. So that's why I'm going that route and thought we would go with Crapless, see what we can get done. So I've got my dice here, and I'm going to get them set for what I want on the come out. I'm going to go with a 5, 6, 5, 4 on the come out, trying to get the 2, 3, 11, and 12, and see if we can't go forward. So here is our come out roll. Everything is working. We get a 5, 1, 6. Okay, so the point is 6. We'll start with that. I'm not going to add anything in there. I want to play Patient Bob tonight and see if I can't get some of these extremes to hit and then build up from there. So I've got my dice, and I'm going to stay with that same 5, 6, 5, 4. Now, if I see a number hit twice, I will bet it, looking to go into it for the third time. First roll, we have a 4, 2, 6. So that is the next roll, and that is a buckshot, if you will. So we'll turn the puck off, grab our dice, come down and roll out again. Still going to work everything because I haven't gained anything and I haven't lost anything. So I'm going to leave everything working, all my extremes. Here is my next toss. Oh, and I need to pay myself $100. Next roll is a 5, 4, 9. So let's mark that 9. Here's the $100 that I forgot to pay myself when we buckshot that 6. So I'm just going to put that in my rack. 9 is our new point. And now we'll try to hit those extremes again. I've really been trying to think about different types of ways to play either craps or crapless. And I'm trying to find, I guess, what you would call that perfect system. So this is what we're going with. Next toss. There is a hard 10. So that looked good. We'll leave it right there. We've seen the 10 now. And then let's go. So neener niner, and then I did a hard 10 was the next roll. I'm just getting my crapsy caught up. I apologize. There we go. Okay. Here is our next toss. We get a 6 something. What's the second number? The other number, oh, that's the one. 6-1. Okay. So we lose a total of $100 because we did hit a point. Let me mark it on Crapsy. That 6-1 caught us. So I'll update you all on Crapsy. There we go, 7 out. Let's wipe off the bets and let's go ahead and give it a go again. Now, I did lose $100, but I am able to come back in relatively easily. All right, there we go. We've got the 2, 3, 11, and 12 working with the pass line of $100. Now let's see if we can't get a point established. That's the beautiful thing about crapless. You don't have to worry about the craps numbers. Here's our next toss on the come out. We have a 3, 4, 7. Okay, so we're not going to lose anything. We're not going to win anything because I had this working, plus I get paid that, and then it comes right back onto the table. So I'm not going to wipe it off and put it all right just to put it all right back, but that's essentially what just happened. Got my dice here. Let's go ahead and try again for our next come out roll. We get, there is a 3, 1, 4. So let's grab these dice. We've got a point now set at 4. We'll slide them down and go try to hit some extremes. 5, 6, 5, 4 is our dice set. Let's have some fun. Let's hit some extremes. Come on, hit it. That's a 5, 1. Okay. So let me, oh, I keep forgetting to do Crapsy. I apologize. Yell at me. Yell at me. Hey, don't forget to play Crapsy. All right, so that was a 5, 1, 6. Let me go grab these dice down here. Again, I just want to be patient. I want to try to take advantage of those extremes. All right, dice are out. Now let's see if we can't hit an extreme. Come on. There is a 5, 1, 6 again. Okay, so now we've seen the 6 a couple times. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop a quarter plus a nickel, obviously, onto the 6. So just one addition. We'll leave it right there. And roll again. Got my dice set. Here is our next toss. That's a 6, 4. Okay. Let me update Crapsy. 6, 4, easy. 10. We'll roll them again. So that's our first 10 we've seen. Let's see here. 5, 6, 5, 4 is our dice set. Here comes our next throw. A 516. Wow. Okay. We finally got that 6. We've been hammering it a couple times, so let's go ahead and get paid on it. Why not? So there is 35. So we're going to make this 60, and I'll rack the 5. Slide my dice down. Let's throw them again. Here we go. Here we go. Get my dice all set up for my next throw. And here we go. Next toss, we get a 6-1. All right, there it is. 6-1 and done. So we made $5. We lose. Yeah, so that did not work out for us. I think what our problem is we're trying to get this to work out while working the $100 on the table because of the 6-1. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go with $100 on those. I'm going to put a quarter on the pass line. We're going to work it and hope that we don't hit the 7. Since I'm the one that's rolling, I'm okay with if the 7 hits. Was trying to bring over some people to your live. Oh, yeah, go for it. Bring them on in. All right, so we got the code in. We are on the come out. I've got the dice are now officially out. Let's see if we can't hit some numbers. Now, we got 100 on the table. 2, 3, 11, and 12 all have a quarter. I've got a quarter on my pass line, and I am working it. So here comes my come out roll. A 6-3 neener. All right, so let me mark that. I'll turn the puck on and grab some dice. Hopefully you all had a good day. With it being Tuesday, we got a short week at work. It's been fantastic. Wattage with Scott. What's up? Hey, yo. Yeah, tomorrow is technically Wednesday, but it's my Friday, so I'm very excited to see if a lot of family members, a lot of turkey time, a little bit of football. A 6-3-9, that's a buckshot right back on that 6-3. Okay, so that worked out pretty nice. I'll mark that. So I'm going to make a quarter off of it. And I'm just going to bank it. Turn our puck off. And let me grab these dice. And we're going to work them again. The 2, 3, 11, and 12. Because I ultimately want to hit. Let me put that up here on Crapsy as well. Boop, boop, boop. And a quarter there. Okay, here we go. Going for our next roll. So I want to go with a 5-6-5-4. And we're working it. A 2-3-5. All right, so we didn't get one of our numbers, but we did get through the come out successfully without losing any money, which is nice. So that's our first 5. If I see a number hit multiple times, that means twice. I'll put a bet down on it just to ensure the action of those dice if they are cooperating for us. And if I'm going to pound a number, I definitely want to take advantage of it. Here's our next throw. And we get 6-1 and done. Holy cow. I think it was because I hit that quarter. But that's going to happen. Let me mark that now. 6-1. Boop. Okay. So let's clear off the table. I'm going to change my approach now that I know I'm not hitting extremes, which kind of stinks. I'm going to go 110 on the inside. And I'm going to play a pass line of 110. And I'm going to work it all. So I'll mirror here in Crapsy what I'm doing. And here we go. Dice are a moving, gentlemen. and ladies. Get my dice set. There we are. My bets are on, and here comes the come out roll. We get a 6, 4, 10. Okay. Little risky, but we got it. We'll mark that 10. Now let's aim for some inside numbers, shall we? When you're ready, the dice are moving. I'm going to go ahead and go with a 3, 5, 3, 1 for this, just to try to target those 6s and 8s. Here we go. Our next toss. There's a 5, 1, 6. Okay, so that gets us going in the right direction. That's going to pay us 35. I'm just going to take it up to, what do I want? I want to add 12. Make it 42. So I got 23 coming back to me. Easy enough. Not a full raise that I would normally do, but again, just going up in little steps and see if we can't increase and get some money back in on the rack that we've lost. All right, dice are moving. Gonna stay with that 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next toss. We get a 1, 2, 3. Okay, we don't have anything on it this time around, and that's okay. So let me see here. That was the 6. Okay. Grab the dice. I guess if you guys want to bet a horn, now would be the time to do it, right? See a horn, bet a horn? I'm not betting a horn. Okay, here comes our next roll. Dice are moving. I'm going back to the 3, 5, 3, 1. And here comes our next toss. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more time on when I roll. There's a 6, 1. All right. It looked pretty. It was a great roll. It just had one kick on the right side, and that's okay. Okay, nothing gained there, but that's the game of craps, I guess. You're going to take some hits in hopes of catching a big one. All right, so we'll turn the puck off. I am going to grab $200 in green. There we go. That's 2 and 20. We're going to go 220 on the inside. Put a quarter on the pass line. Let's go for some inside hits. Everybody get your bets set. Let's see here. I'll get mine set also on Crapsy. And then there we go. Turn my bets off. I'm not going to work the come out. Here we go. Dice are moving, dice are out. Our come out roll we get. There's a 6, 1. How about that? That was great that I didn't work that come out because that would have hurt us bad. But in hindsight now, we're good with a frontline winner of a quarter. So I'll take that, move it into the rack. Now I'll grab some dice. Thankfully, I decided not to work that this time. Okay, here we go. Got my dice. Dice are out. If you feel that this is too long of a time in between rolls on giving you guys a warning, please let me know. I've got it set to 15 seconds. Just want to make sure that you guys have enough time. All right, here are my dice. I'm staying with the 6, 2, 6, 2. We get a crisscross of a 1, 2, 3. There's the new point. Set the point at 3. Slide the dice down. Got my bets set here and in Crapsy. Now I'm going to go immediately to those inside numbers because I want to try to get a couple hits, get out of the hand, and let the casino pay for the rest of my play this turn. All right, dice are out. Got my dice going with a 3, 5, 3, 1. And here comes our next toss. We get a 3, 4. Holy cow. We can't make anything work here tonight. That's almost worse than a PSO because we got a frontline winner with the 7, and then we hit a point, and then the 7. Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay, we're going to crank it down big time. I'm going to go to the 66 inside. Actually, I'm going to make it 76 inside. I'm going to go a little heavy on the 5 and 9, make them each 20. And then got some 1s here. 3 and 2. Okay. So I'm putting 20 on the 5 and 9, and then 18 on the 6 and 8. And then I'll go with a quarter on the pass sign. Everything is set. Let me set up my Crapsy to do the same. Whoops. 15, 15, and then make those 18. And then a quarter on the pass line. Okay, dice are out. I'm going to grab all the dice, dump them out. There's a couple hard 4. I'll grab those, or hard 8. I'll grab those. All right, I got the dice. Dice are out. We're on the come out. Here is our throw. That's a 2, 4, 6. Nice way to start. So we'll mark the 6. Take the dice. Slide them on down. All right, everybody get your bets in. We're seeing you. Yes, I know. I am sweating hardcore here. It has been kind of a rough go at it. 3, 5, 3, 1 is the dice set I'm going to go with. So dice are out. Make sure you got your bets in. And here we go. Next roll. A 2, 4, 6. Whew. That one saved the day. Thank goodness. All right, so that's one of the numbers that we needed, and that's a buckshot on top of it. All right, so we get paid a quarter down there. Up here, we're going to get paid $21. I'm going to drop them $3. Get myself that. And then we'll make all of this on the inside here $30 each. That is now set. Got my dice. We'll grab the quarter as well. So right now I've got $27 in the rack from this roll. Dice are moving. Go ahead and get your bets in. All right, I'm going to stay with the 3, 5, 3, 1, even though I'm not working it, because I want to try to target one of those inside numbers as my point so that I can get it to hit. Here's my next toss. We get a 3, 1, 4. Okay, well, that's not a problem. We'll take the 4. We'll set the point at 4. Slide the dice down. Give you guys a minute. Get your bets in. You guys play whatever system you want. I'm playing a little passive right now, trying to get my bankroll back up. I'm going to slide the dice now. And let's get them set. Again, staying with the 3, 5, 3, 1. The 5 is the, or excuse me, 4 is the point. Here comes our next toss. Well, that's a buckshot. 314. Even though I wasn't aiming for it, I'll take it because that's going to pay me a quarter down here on the pass line. Every little bit helps. That's $52 now that we've gotten. Take those dice. We'll slide them down. All right. Here comes our next come out. And I got my bets turned off. Dice are moving. I'm not going to go with that last. Well, you know what? I will. I'm going to stay with that same strategy of trying to target one of the inside numbers for the point. So 3531 is what I have my dice set at. Here comes our next toss. That's a 538. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We'll mark that 8. Would love to get that right back. Here comes our next throw. I'll give you guys just a second to get your bet in. All right, dice are moving. I'm going to take a quick swig here. I got to get this inside. I need a 6 or an 8 so that I can go ahead and just get out of this hand. Here comes our next toss. We have a 314. Okay, I don't have anything on it. Hopefully one of you guys did. So for me, it doesn't help me, it doesn't hurt me, but we're still alive. That's the important thing. I don't want to break my $500 chip just yet if I don't have to. Okay, I've got my dice. I'm getting them set. Here comes our next toss. Staying with the 3531. I would love a 6 or an 8. Matter of fact, I'll just put one of those on order. 6 or an 8, please. Here's our next toss. Well, we didn't get a 6 and we didn't get an 8. We fell right in between it. Shoo, that's rough. I guess we're breaking our chip. There's 100. Let me grab 200 more. There's 200 and 300. All right, so there's 200 back. Turn our puck off. And we are going to shoot for the moon. I need $50 in green, please. There we go. And then I get $20 back. You're right. You've guessed it. I'm going 330 on the inside. I'm not trying to martingale. I'm not trying to get back what I've lost. I'm just trying to change my approach and see if I can't get something to work. Yes, it did 550 inside. Oh, it's not quite. It is not quite an all-in time. All right, so let me get my bets matching what I have here in Crapsy. And my bets are going to be off. And we're moving some dice. Getting all 5 dice out. I see a hard 12 or boxcar, so I'm going to take that. We're going to use that. All right, dice are out. Here we go. Let's have a good roll right here. Our first toss, we get. Hey, that's a frontliner winner, 5-2. That pays. We'll make it 15. So I'm going to take this up to 25, rack the 5. See? Let the casino do my raising for me. Okay. Let's have another come out. Got my dice, 6262. And here is our throw. There we go. A 6-4. So that's our new point. We'll let it sit on the tin. And now let's go ahead and bang out one of those inside numbers. How's that sound? So we'll go 3, 5, 3, 1. Just get a nice, easy toss and see if we can't hit one of those inside numbers. All right, here we go. 75 on the 5 and 9. I've got 90 on the 6 and 8. And my pass line is currently sitting at a quarter. We get... There's a 6-2, easy 8. Nice, we needed that. That pays us 105. Slide those down so you guys can see it a little better. All right, so the 8's going to pay us 105. I'm going to collect that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quarter off of the 5 and 9 and a quarter off of the 6 and 8. And I'm going to also take the caps off of that. So we keep the same amount of money. I have just essentially spread it across the 4 through 10. I hope that makes sense what I just did there. I took a quarter off the 5 and 6 and a quarter off the 8 and 9, and then I covered the 4 and 10, making those all 50 at the $50 level. So let me do that in Crapsy. And dice are out. I'm now going to change my dice set to a 5, 6, 5, 4. Here we go. That's a 5, 4. Neener. That'll pay us $70. And I will go ahead and put a quarter on the 9, rack the rest of it. So I now have 75 on my 9. I'll update Crapsy as well. I know that's risky with the way my dice have been rolling, but I want to stick to my strategy. All right, we're moving some dice. I have my dice set. So currently 50 on the 4, 5, and 10, 60 on the 6 and 8, 75 on the 9 with a quarter on the pass line and no pass line odds. Here's our next toss. Hard 6. Okay, we'll take that. That pays us 70. And again, I'm just going to take it up 1 unit, make it 90, and rack the rest of it. Okay, now we had 330 when we started. It came down to 220. I have about $200 and change in my rack that we've made. So we're doing very well with this hand. We're moving some dice. Let's get another nice good number. Our next throw. There is a 5, 4 Neener. 5, 4. Boop. 5, 4, 9 is going to pay us 105. So I'm going to take 105. I'm going to take a quarter of it and put it on the 10. Rack the rest of it. So I'm putting 80 in the rack. That was a nice hit. We'll take that. We'll take that. I like that. All right, so I put a quarter onto the 10. So I now have 75 on that. We're moving some dice. I'm going to stay with that same dice set. I'm going with a 5, 6, 5, 4 because, as you can tell, with the 9 that hit. Here comes our next throw. I get a 5, 1, 6. We'll take that. Pull the dice down. All right, so the 6, we've got $90 on it. That's going to pay us 105. I'm going to take a quarter of it, stick it on the 4, rack 80 of it. So if the 5 or 6 hit, I'm feeding the 4. If the 8 or 9 hit, I'm feeding the 10. Essentially is what I'm doing. Sounds weird, but I've been kind of playing with this just to see if it's beneficial. Once I get the $100 level on those insides, I just use those to feed the outside. And I think it's just smarter that way. All right, here we go. Dice are a moving. Here comes our next toss. There's a 2, 4, 6. So, sorry, I was just updating my Crapsy. So 2, 4, 6, that's going to pay us 105. Again, we'll take a quarter of it, put it on the 4, make it 100, rack the 80. Slide the dice down. All right, so we want a 4 now. I'm moving the dice. And get my dice set. I'm going to switch it to a 3, 5, 1, 5 and see if that'll help me with my 4s and 10s a little bit better. Here comes our next toss. That's a 5, 6, yo. Okay, well, we needed that. We can take that for the bonus, right? Which I am not playing. Slide my dice down. It took forever. What took forever? Skill? Not exactly. I must have missed what he said. Moving the dice. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here we go. Or excuse me, 3, 5, 1, 5. Here we go. Got my dice set. Let's hit a 4 or a 10 right here, please. Our next throw, we get a 5, 6, yo again. Back-to-back throws. Wow. Well, if you weren't betting the horn, maybe we should now, right? I am not going to. I very, 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 very seldomly play the horn. Of course, I guess I could slide a quarter out to the yo since we've hit it back-to-back. You know what? I will do that because we've now seen it back-to-back throws. I'm just going to stick a quarter on it. It's not going to hurt anything. And I'll go ahead and copy that on the 3 as well. There we go. So I'll add a quarter to both of those. Put it on the 3 and the yo. Dice are moving. I've got my dice set at a 3, 5, 1, 5 for those interested at home. Yeah, it did take forever. Here comes our next toss. That's a 2, 4, 6. That's another, what, 105 right there? It is indeed. All right, so I'm going to take 105. I'm going to continue it, put it on the 4, rack the 80. I'm going to stay with that, trying to target my 4s and 10s. So I'll put another quarter on the 4. And let's move some dice. Three, 5, 1, 5. I like staying with that as my 5, 6, 5, 4 was not working. So I just switched it up. Here comes our next throw. We get 6, 1. There it is and done. Okay, not horrible. Let's see how much we made here. There's 100. 2, 3, 400. Okay, did a little better than I thought. 25, 50. Okay, 475 is what we were able to get on that hand. So we did recoup a little bit. We're still down in the overall grand scheme of things, but I do like that we finally started moving in the right direction. So let's clear off this table. No dirty stacks. Good there. Okay, so how much do we want to start off with? Let's see here. I had what? 300 here? 1, 2, 3, 50. Skill was saying something about 500 across. 4, 5. There's 50. All right, so let's see how we want to do this. I guess I could go with 500 and put 150 on the 6 and 8. Let's do that. Skill wanted to see it. Let's do it. I'm not opposed to it. So I got 150 on the 6 and 8, 100 on the 5 and 9. I've got $50 on my pass line. Chuck my dice down. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, 550 inside. I knew that's what you had meant. I said across by mistake. All right, so let me update Crapsy, what we're doing here. I am not working the come out, and I'm actually going to go with 5, 10, 5 on the ATS. Grab some dice. I've got 2 2s. I like that. And a 1, 4, 5. Here is my dice. Here we go. We got the come out. Not working. Not working. I mean, working, right? No. 2, 4, 6. Let's mark that 6. There we are. Grab our dice. Slide them down. Let's go again. Would love to know your thoughts on this skill. What would you like to see as a system like this? I know we've been taking hits, and I know we joke about just going up and up and up. Still would like to know. Even you, Scott, would love to hear your thoughts. Here's our next toss. That's a 516. That's a buckshot. We'll take that. We get paid 50 down here. We get paid 175 here. So now I can put 50 on the 4 and 10, and I still rack $125. I'll take that. All right, let me grab these dice, slide them back down. But yeah, no, seriously, 110 inside now. You want me to reduce? What? Why would I want to regress? Do I really want to regress right here? Or am I okay to stay where I'm at? I mean, we're on the come out. We might as well see what we get. Can't we do that? Now I want to know what he says about this. Okay, do it your way, BK. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do it my way. Okay, got my dice. Going back to the 6-2, 6-2. We're not working the come out. Here comes our next throw. Dice are out. Here we go. We get a 5-4 neener. 9. All right, so now I need to update Crapsy. I've got 50 on the 4 and 50 on the 10. Let me mark that 9. Slide it down. And let's get the dice out. I'll give you just another moment. And let you guys get caught into it. Get your bets in. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit the dice are out. Okay, you guys are ready. Awesome. Wow, you guys are quick. All right, here comes our toss. I'm looking for I'm going to go 3-5-1-5 this time. Right out the gate. Here's our toss. That's a 4-5-9. That's another buckshot. I'm not going to apologize for it. We're just going to take it and move right on. That's going to pay us 140. Plus I get 50 down here on the pass line. All right, so I'm going to take a quarter, add it to the 10, add it to the 4. So now both of those are at, you know what? No, scratch that. I'm going to cover the 3 and the yo. And I'm still going to rack 140. Turn the puck off. Grab our dice. Let's slide down. Okay. I like how that turned out. That was nice. Okay, so let me add a quarter to the 3 and the yo, because that's what I just did. I'm moving some dice. Here we go. We're back on the come out with a 6-2-6-2. Here is our next toss. I get a 3-5-8. We'll take that. Set our point at 8. Take our dice and slide them down. Okay. I really don't need to do anything. I hope you guys are set. I'm going to go ahead and move the dice. No more bets. Here comes our next throw. That's a 2-3-5. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. That pays us $140. 25, 40. So let's see here. What do I want to do? I'm going to take a quarter, add it to the 5, rack the 115. Now it goes from being 140 to 175. Okay. Yep, that's what we'll do. All right, dice are moving. They are out. Staying with the 3-5-1-5. Here comes our next throw. That's a 4-1-5. Nice. Okay. So that, again, pays us $175. I'm going to now take a quarter of it, and I'm going to add it to the 4 and a quarter onto the 10, making those 75, and I'm still racking $125. Slide our dice down. Let me update Crapsy on my current push. 75 and 75. Dice are out. Here we go. I know old Skill has got to be going, God, regress, regress! Oh, and I should have regressed. Oh, here it comes. Told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Oh, we were just starting to get into a good position. Like a really good position. All right, we started with 500. There's 475. 505. We made $5. Oh, it would have been a lot better. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. There it is. He's chirping. He's in my ear. Bob, I told you. You should have regressed. Fine, do it your way. Let's do that. Actually, I can do this. I don't need all these reds. Sell them back. That's $100. Yep. All right, so we'll make... There we go. All right. It's not quite all the way in, but we are pretty darn close. Oops, one too many. So I've got 125 on the 5 and 9, 150 on the 6 and 8. So let me update Crapsy. And 25 on the pass line. Turning my bets off. I am not working the come out. I'm working 5, 10, 5 on the bonuses. Let's move some dice. Let's see what we get. Staying with the 6-2, 6-2 on the come out roll. Here is our roll. We get a 5-1-6 to start. Perfect. We started with, we started with 550 and no, we started with 500 because it was 100 on each space, and then I had and then 50 on the 6 and 150 on the 8. So yeah, it was 600 or 500. All right, point now is 6. Oh, but then we had 50 on the pass line. You're right. Okay, good call, Skill. Okay, dice are out. Let's throw. Got my dice set. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here's our throw. That's a 1, 2, 3. That's the first time we've seen that. So we'll just take it, slide them down, and throw again. If you had a horn bet, congratulations, you just got paid. I, however, did not, so I did not. All right, dice are out. Here comes our next toss. That's a 1, 4, 5. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. That's going to pay us, what is that? That pays us 175, right? I'm going to go for one more hit. Take our dice, slide them down. Where's Skill? Where's Skill? I'm waiting to hear it. Got my dice set. Here we go. 3, 5, 3, 1. Our next hit. We get a 5, 6 yo. Nothing there for me. There's our 5, 6 yo. Slide them down and try again. Now we're hitting extremes. All right, dice are out. Here comes our next toss. We have a Cinco Dos. All right. Well, we just blew through that stack. See, this is why I don't play crapless. Well, I know we've had this conversation before. The second I flip it over to a craps table, for somehow, some way, I'm able to just recoup and I just wind up playing better. So I'm going to slide these off. We're going to purely take it on crapsy. I'll keep moving the button as our point is established and keep playing this way. I want to play a little bit more. I want to get my dice going. All right, so I've got 664 left on my bankroll here in crapsy. I'm going to go quarters across, turn the puck off, or turn the bets off, and a quarter on the pass line for 285. I've got my dice set. Here is the come out roll. There is a 2, 4, 6. Awesome. Let me get that. That's an easy 6. Now, I'm just going to stay with a pure 3, 5, 3, 1 on all my dice set, as I want to essentially just bang out those inside numbers and see if I can't hit a yo or a 3 every once in a while. So here comes our next toss. We have, well, that's even better. Box cars. Okay. That just paid me 149. So I'm going to add a quarter to my box cars. Let's go grab those dice. That was a great throw. There's the box cars. Hopefully you all can't hear that. Man, that wind is blowing out there. All right, let's do our next toss. 3, 5, 3, 1 is what I'm set with. And here comes our next throw. I get a 2, 4, 6. Nice. Okay, that's the point. That's going to pay me 35. Yeah, because I had 25 on my pass line. So I'm going to take my 6. I'm going to bump it up to 60. Turn my bets off. And grab my dice. Slide them down. Here we go. All right. We got some momentum. Let's keep it going. Here comes our next come out roll. And we have That's a 6-4-10. We'll take that. All right. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Take our dice, slide them down. And dice are a moving. That was our come out roll. So I'm immediately going to start targeting the 4s and 10s. Here is our next throw. I get a 6-3-9. I like that. 6-3. So I'm going to make my 950 now. I've got 385 across, or 360 across. I've banked 244 off of this roll. Not bad. Not bad. Slide it down. I started with roughly 250 plus 10, 260 across is what I started with. All right, 3515. Here we are. Let's see what we can get. We have a 6-4-10. Nice. We needed that. That's the point. Just made $75. 25 on the pass, and then I also had 25 on the 10. So that's nice. I'm going to add another quarter to my 10, make it 50. Turn my bets off, and let's come out. I got a 6-2, 6-2 to start. Here we go. I have, oh, what is that other number? I can't see it. It's a 3-4-7. Okay, that's fine, because that's the come out roll. Slide them down. Mark it off here in Crapsy. Okay. And then we don't have a point yet. Yes, wait, no, we don't have a point yet. So let me make sure my bets are off. Okay, here we go. 3-5-3-1 is what I'm going to go for on this come out roll, just to shake it up for a second. See if I can't set a point. There's a 4-1-5. Okay, we'll take that. There's our new point. Slide my dice down. Here we go. Okay, we've finally got some momentum going. I like it. I'm going to stay with that 3-5-3. No, actually, my point. Okay, yeah. I'll stay with the 3-5-3-1 because of my point. Here comes our next toss. Oh, that was a beautiful roll of 4-1-5. How nice was that? That almost like hit and stuck. All right, so I'm going to add a quarter to my 5. Turn my bets off. Yeah, it just hit, and it was like it almost just glued right to the table. We'll slide them down and go again. Nice. That one felt really good. All right, here we go. Here's our next come out roll. We got the 6-2, 6-2. And we get, that's a 3-5-8. We'll set that point at 8. I need to have that on the table so I can see what the heck I'm shooting for. All right, there we go. Get your bets in. I need a yo. A yo to hit the talls. 3-5-3-1. Let's have some fun. Here we go. And there's the, is that a 3-4? It sure the heck is. 3-4-7 out. All right, well, I mean, I still made some money. I made $60 on that. Not nearly what I wanted to make, but yeah, that's been my luck lately on Crapless Craps. I do want to tell you guys I've got some really cool videos coming. I'll go ahead and let everybody know. Tomorrow morning, I've got my Bubble Craps video that's coming out. Of course, next Monday, don't forget, I got Felt of Fortunes. We're going to try to switch some things up on that series. It's been kind of stagnant a little bit, and I want to shake it up and see if we can't get some things going in the right direction for us, both in the bankroll building and just having some fun in general. And then on, let's see, what is that, Friday? Yes, Friday. I've got another video that I put together. I'm still trying to come up with a clever title for it, so I'll leave that in a mystery. And then also, I just want to send a big thank you out to everybody in the community that's been kind of supporting me, hanging out with me, joining my Discord. Greatly appreciate every single one of you that has come out and support my channel. Guys, we're going to go ahead and hang things up for this evening. I really greatly appreciate your time. We'll be back here next Tuesday for another stream, and we also might be changing our streaming format coming up very soon. As soon as I get some better details on that, I'll let everybody know on my Discord channel and probably put a message out on YouTube. You guys have a fantastic night. We shall see you next time.